Go. MJ, how you feeling, brother?
Lovely brother. How about you? How's everything good? Everything good with the family?
Everything good, man. Your analysis on the election. Um, I definitely think they can put in whoever they want. It's kind of funny to me how magically Pennsylvania, Georgia, Michigan, and everybody got their votes in with no problem this time within 24 to 48 hours. But excuse me,
Corey.
last time it took them 44, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 days
Yeah, how
to do
about
it.
that? Yeah.
You
Yeah,
know,
how about that? Uh-huh.
so
Yeah,
that shit was funny to me.
yeah. Hey, Corey, you know something, man? Like, like we discussed this, I think it was last week, you know what I mean, when all this was going down. Even before the election, and I was saying how, I was like, these people must be listening to us because
Right.
remember what I was saying there? Because
Yeah.
Kamala went, she talking about how, when I was coming up, there was to save the
Oh
children.
yeah, 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 yeah. That was crazy. Yeah, that was crazy.
That was crazy, bro. But what it is, there's a collective consciousness, man, that pretty much it runs through that energy runs through people who are on similar wavelengths and trains of thought. So they got some people that's associated with her that was really tapped in and understood, like, yo. But the thing is that they couldn't go full tilt because they're not independent. They all bought. So they gotta toe the line, and they can't veer off of that line, but so far. You know what I mean? So none of this was a surprise to us, man. We was talking about before the election. We was talking about how this lady, she gonna get blown up.
Yeah, it's no
Right?
way. Well,
We
and when
was,
you're a leader, you got to come with your own ideas.
you got to come with your own, and you got to be connected to something, man.
Yeah,
Like Trump is connected, whether you like his base or not. Trump is connected to these fools, man. These
and
fools, they love him.
yeah, and he walked his ass up in the barber shop in the Bronx, and then Kamala
Oh,
Harris gonna wait till after that to finally walk up in the barber shop in Philly.
see, that's because Trump. People don't understand. The reason Trump appeals to so many different people across so many different spectrums is because Trump represents an idea. The idea is get money. Get money at all costs. Get money. It don't matter whether you gotta lie, cheat, steal, uh, hit somebody upside the head, grab it by the foot. It don't matter. Get money. Right? That's Trump. And that's what people right now are on. They said the number one issue, it wasn't the number one issue wasn't no abortion. The number one
Mm-mm.
issue wasn't Chief of David them, not us, even though that did hit. I'll talk about that later. But the number one issue that everybody said was on their mind was money. Money. They wanted
Economy.
money.
This
Yeah.
was funny, MJ.
Mm-hmm.
I'm listening to this fool talk on News Nation. That's where Cuomo on now. Ever since he
Right.
left CNN, excuse me. And these two liberal dudes, they dumb asses gonna say this woman. I give this woman full credit. This woman was amazing. She had common sense. She comes out. She says Trump had a simple, common sense, straightforward ideology, and all races and creeds bought it. And y'all can like it or not. And y'all don't understand your policies. This dumb liberal dude gonna jump in and say, "No, no, no, I disagree. It wasn't the policies because the abortion was by the states, and that's a Democrat policy, and paid leave." And I'm sitting there thinking like, "Yo, paid leave, motherfuckers been doing that for years. I don't know where the hell you been at." As far as abortion, Trump said before he left office, leave it up to the states because he didn't want to turn off the conservatives, but at the same time, he didn't want to lose the independence and people he had that rocked with him. You still talking this stupid shit and you don't get it. Then your dumb ass gonna say something stupid like the non-educated white women voted for Trump. I put my hand on my head and I'm like, dude, I know several white girls I went to school with that voted for Trump, master's degrees in education and all. What you knuckleheads don't understand is what MJ just said. You nut ass idiots. Economy, the border, And the tranny thing, where my daughter got to run up and down the field or be in the bathroom with some motherfucker that's a man. Excuse my language. And y'all keep on trying to go abortion or Trump's cholesterol level. And it's like y'all niggas ain't serious about winning this election. Y'all not serious about this shit.
No, and look, here's another fatal flaw that the demon rats, I call them demon rats.
Yeah, they're the demon rats. Go ahead, I call them.
The demon rats.
Yeah.
They see, we keep harping on this because this is the reality, man. They playing you. They playing well, they playing other people. They ain't playing me because I can see clearly that there is no distinction between these parties, man. Like you think that yeah, I'm a Democrat and I'm Republican, and Republicans they for one thing and Democrats no, they all for the same thing, man. They all for why do you think that
they all live in the same neighborhoods?
Why do you think Harris aligned herself with who? Cheney.
Yeah.
Of all people.
Yeah, that's crazy.
All people.
That's crazy.
And they're supposed to be the liberal, progressive wing of the government, right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, of politics. The Demon Rats. This is the truth, Corey. The Demon Rats have moved so far to the right that now the right, the Republicans, they got to move further to the right to distinguish themselves from the Democrats, right?
Mm-hmm.
So what you're gonna see is the Republicans they about to turn up. They about to turn up because they feel like they've been given a mandate. They want a popular vote and an electoral vote. About 18, 20 million people that voted last time didn't even bother to vote. You know, they had a whole movement called, what was it, Undecided or whatever, a bunch of people who they were basically reflecting the fact that don't nobody really want neither one of these motherfuckers, but they got to take one of them, you know, because they align with these parties.
Right, and I know the one I'm going to take at least going to have gas at less than $5 a gallon.
And it's bingo.
That's
See,
it.
That's the thing right there. See, the Demon Rats, another thing they fail to recognize, the American public already know what they're going to get with Trump. They already have
that's what it was. Exactly.
They already know what they're going to get.
You're going to get some sound bites. He's going to be throwing some hip-hop jabs that people he don't like, but he understands. The difference is...
Talk tough. Yeah.
Exactly. This is a man who ran his own businesses for years. He understands how to lose money and get it back. So he can relate on a regular, hard-working person. Whereas a motherfucker like that's been in politics their whole life, like they was trying to sell us, this dumbass is taking tip money from people who work in like places in Vegas and other places, and she's putting that back in to give out free student loans for some lawyer who can't pay his loans off. And it's just like, dude, what are y'all doing? And these free debit cards for these immigrants, it's like y'all niggas done really lost y'all mind.
Cool. Let me give you a perfect illustration of how Trump can cast a spell over his followers, and they'll disregard bullshit just to stay on code with Trump. Now, like I said, we know what Trump did in his 4 years. Like, you know, versus Biden, things was pretty good, right, when Trump was in office, right? You know, versus Biden, people would rather have Trump versus Biden because they were looking like, yeah, when Trump was in office, gas wasn't $5. You know what I mean? It wasn't $30 for a lobster and all this kind of shit. But people conveniently will forget Trump brags about being the father of the vaccine. Now, all your so-called Republicans were supposed to be anti-vax, using my body, my choice. You can't force me to take. But they conveniently forget it was Trump that gave you the vaccine, fool.
That's true.
He's the father. He brags about being the father of the vaccine. He got the vaccine out in record time. That's one. Here's another. Trump uses the same tactics that those small hats use. Right?
Oh,
the small hats.
Yo, I love that analogy, bro. If I would like to make a shirt and just keep it on code between me and you and say, yeah, watch for the small hats.
Yeah, because the small hats, if you notice what they do is, the small hats, the small hats don't just fight. When they wage battle against everybody. I
Yeah.
don't care if it's babies, if it's pets, roaches, ants. They don't care. They gonna come in and they gonna just wipe everything out.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Everything but military people.
Yeah.
Think about that, right? Everything but military people. The only time that they go after military people is when they do targeted assassinations. When they just, you know what I mean, they find, one of your dudes slipping, and then they blow up the building here, and you know what I mean, there you go.
Mm-hmm.
That was Trump. Trump did that to Soleimani from Iran, right? General Soleimani, the commander of the Iranian Guard.
And then my Rangers was trying to get him for that.
Yeah, because Trump executed that dude, man. He droned him. He called Obama. He droned him and shit, you know? Yeah. But this is my point. When you hold sway over large groups of people that all share your ideals, that are trying to maintain what they got, and they don't care how you do it, just maintain what we got. I don't care who you got to kill. Just maintain. We ain't trying to give up these private jets. We ain't trying to give up all these houses. We ain't trying to give up these luxury lifestyles. Just kill who you got to kill to maintain it. That is the sickness that exists in the minds of most of these political followers, be it whether they're Republican or demon rats. They all have.
I love that. I call them demon rats, but you call them demon rats. That shit hard.
That's what they are, man. The demon rats. Do you know, man? Corey, we could do a whole show on the demon rats and how they did us dirty.
Listen. Cube said it in 2020. He said we've had 40 years, 4 decades of failed leadership amongst the Democrats. Why would we keep voting for them?
It makes no freaking sense.
Makes no sense. Cube, you seen Seth Meyers? He did a little joke. Saturday Night Live did a little joke like they just like, yeah, we ain't taking you serious, nigga. Kamala Harris said, we gonna call you back. We gonna set something up. She never called Cube back. She never set nothing up. 4 years went by, and I remember that the whole time. And now all of a sudden, come close to the polls, and you see it's no way for y'all to cheat, because this time the Supreme Court gonna step in because they know how many registered voters there are in the United States. They know how many people are here. Now you're getting on your horseshoes when you see that, oh damn, these niggas really not gonna vote for me this time. They not playing. And I sat back and I thought it was like, yo, you were supposed to have taken care of this 4 years ago. And some of this shit was just kind of hysterical to me when she would say things, or they would say things, and I'm sitting there with my left eyebrow up, MJ, and I'm like, hey, wasn't you in the White House for the last 3.5 years? You just now figuring that shit out? you just now starting to get that people out here like fucked up for real. And this was the funny part when that dumbass on News Nation gonna say uneducated white women, 52%, and I'm sitting there thinking like, y'all motherfuckers don't learn. Y'all just lost an election because y'all keep on putting people in boxes, but y'all are the main party that talk about don't bully and put people in boxes. But this is the funniest shit right here, MJ. What bachelor's degree J-Lo got? What bachelor's degree Cardi B got? I like Beyonce, but what bachelor's degree Beyonce got? What bachelor's degree Taylor Swift got? What bachelor's degree Usher got? All these celebs you got polling for you and going out about you, none of them are educated, like me and my brother MJ. But yet you're saying 52% of non-educated women didn't vote for her. Everybody you have that you're trying to influence with don't even have an education themselves. They just fucking celebrities. They got money, but they not educated. If y'all take their money from them, they won't know what to do with they spoiled asses. They won't know like me and MJ how to plant this in the ground and say, all right, I got to make this shit work for a while. Hey, I got to go back to the mother effing steam engine. Let me get this mother effer to work. They don't know how to do that shit, and they wouldn't know how to adapt. So I just think it's funny that they was using some of these excuses, and it's like, and what educated people did you have backing you? A bunch of celebrities that some finished high school, some didn't. None of them have bachelor's degrees, and then you go to throw saying who's educated and who ain't. And then Al Sharpton, sucker ass, he gonna get on there, but do it on NBC and start calling black men and Latino men misogynistic again. And it's like it's everything but the truth with you nut ass mother effers. It's never, and it's kind of sickening, MJ, to be like, you know what you're saying is bullshit, but you refuse to do what you talked about right before we got on the phone together, brother. Self-reflecting. You refuse to look yourself in the mirror. You're so arrogant and so damn stupid is that you refuse to look yourself in the mirror. Hitler's ass was going into Amsterdam, the Netherlands, all these places just saying, fuck it, I'm tough, I got a big army. He went around and fucked with Russia, and my man Joseph Stalin pulled that steel curtain back and said, not me, nigga. And then all the shit started crumbling. People like that, they don't understand. And then even until Hitler's last day when the mother effers was closing in on Berlin, this motherfucker was still going about stuff his regular day and was sending some kids out to do guerrilla warfare against the Russian army, and then the other army was coming from the other way, which was the American army. And I look at Democrats like that. They're so arrogant that you have to do these people like what happened to Hitler and his demise. You have to literally crush them down as to where they have no other choice but to annihilate them because they can't do what you talked about, self-reflecting.
Bruh, before we even move further, since you brought up that historical note regarding World War II, Hitler, the Russians, I want to drop a source so that folks out there listening don't just think we talking out our ass, right? I want people to look up a professor. His name is Anthony Sutton. Now, Anthony Sutton, he wrote a bunch of books. He used to work for the Hoover Institute. He wrote a bunch of books in the 70s and 80s. One of them I'm holding in my hand right now called Wall Street and the Bolshevik Revolution. The other one he wrote was called National Suicide, Military Aid to the Soviet Union, that talks about who exactly financed World War II. And when Professor Sutton broke down, do you know when he uncovered that there was collusion between bankers and industry financing both sides of that war and transferring technology from the West to the East in Russia and China. When he uncovered this, he was told in no uncertain terms, you will not write about this any longer if you wish to continue working for the Hoover Institute. Man. So there is a historical precedent, a continuum that's being played out here. That I have this tagline that I use. You know, we hip hop, this generation hip hop. So we all know KRS-One. His tagline is Chris reigns supreme over nearly everyone. Right? Mm-hmm. That's KRS-One. That's what it stands for.
Right.
I flipped it, and I used IRS-One. Ignorance reigns supreme over nearly everyone.
That's deep.
Because that's the state that, the population has been rendered, man, ignorant. We've been rendered ignorant. I don't exclude myself from that category because there are many things that I am ignorant of.
Right.
But I've just taken the time to try to dispel as much of the ignorance as I can. So, brother, when you start talking about how these folks manipulate these situations to benefit themselves, no matter which side of the equation they're on, this is how you can really start to understand this game. And I don't want to say profit from it because I don't look at I don't look at being prominent in this system as something positive. Because the prominent people are the ones that are going to keep this system propped up and continue to be parasitic among the working class.
Yeah, I wouldn't say profit. I would say you more prosper in keeping your guard up. If it's a word for that, you just on your square.
No, no,
I,
no, 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 Corey. Don't let's not be uncertain and unclear about this. If you are profiting from this system,
right, right.
you you are propping it up. It's only one. It's only one or two elements in the equation. Either you are working to tear the system down and create a righteous and equitable system,
Uh,
or you want to perpetuate it because you're benefiting from it.
true, true.
Right? Right? And most people, I would venture to say is most people would want a change. Most people recognize it innately. They feel it within their fiber, in their bone marrow. They feel something right now.
Yeah, I know in some countries they don't do like I know in some of the Muslim countries they don't do the interest like we do there, and I even noticed that when I would pay.
Usury, yeah,
Yeah,
usury, yeah,
usury. There you
usury
go,
is not
brother.
allowed.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's not allowed in the Muslim countries. No usury.
yeah.
Exactly.
You pay what you pay. So, like for example, when I went to the Anthony Joshua Usyk fight, the second one, when I would pay for my hotel, it was just it was a very nice hotel. It wasn't the Hyatt or some of the American hotels they had to, but it was like a very nice brand Saudi hotel right across from the Jeddah airport, and it was $50, and I stayed for like 3 nights. Glass, diamonds, and then when you buy food over there, they actually feed you,
Of
MJ, and
course.
it's like exactly, it's like extremely affordable. So like
Of
when you
course.
take your student loans out, I know it's like they say it's a give and take, and I hope that if anybody's listening, if you can get grants, unlike me, I had to get it on my own. I didn't have nowhere to stay, so part of it was the loans came for the room and board. But if you grow up in a loving family and you got a father like MJ or somebody, and you can go to college and you can just go off the grants alone and not have to pay nothing back, I would hope that you could do that. But the long story short, a lot of times, like with UAE, they would criticize people with UAE, and they say, well, UAE does this with these immigrants and does this and that. And then somebody was like, nigga, you come over here. Matter of fact, my cab driver, MJ, my cab driver, when I got off the plane this past week, he's an immigrant. He migrated over here legally, and he doesn't like the illegal immigrant stuff. Anyway, he has some people that are over in the UAE. And he says, I hate when America comes over there and tries to say they got to do this for workers. He was like, they don't understand we came from third world countries. What we get in UAE is so much better than we got before. And he said, and it actually creates a middle class. You also don't know this, MJ. Know a sister from the UAE and a couple dudes. When you're a UAE citizen, when you're an Emirati, as they say, you don't fucking pay for college. The
Oh, don't
government,
start, man.
huh?
Don't start. Don't start,
Listen,
Corey. Don't.
listen,
About
listen,
to,
listen.
about to open a can of
We got
worms,
to open the
Corey.
can of worms. We got to because we got to open. As a matter of fact, the Emirati government will pay for you to go to school overseas, whether it's in Europe or USA, because they want you to bring back your knowledge and your technology to your own country. So our
Good.
country, they'll mother effing make us pay for school, trying to keep us in debt and play games with us. Meanwhile, the Emiratis will send their natural born citizens anywhere and pay for college because you can go to college if you want. You can start your own business. It's in those countries. It's up to you. My man from Saudi Arabia, he left before Mohammed bin Salman got in because they was real strict on the wife stuff and all that, and the parents. A lot of times the parents be uptight. When MBS came back in, he made it so if you had a girlfriend or you had a woman that you wanted to marry, but the parents was on some bullshit, he was basically like, I'd rather you get married and the parents be mad then you be running around trying to commit a sin. So he let it be like you can be with any woman pretty much that you want. This motherfucker left London and moved back to Saudi Arabia because he said it's easier and it's better here for me. He's like, now the MBS passed these rules, so it's a lot of. One more thing, let me before I let you go in because I know you're gonna go in. They talk about all the workers' rights here, and they like it lets me know, MJ, that people don't study shit like us. They just talk out of their ass on what somebody else says and repeat other points. They say, "Oh, in Saudi they cut this head off and they do this and that," and they said, "Do you actually know?" And if you this is under United Nations laws, and if you go and look up international law and you look up the law in Saudi, and people went undercover and saw this. In Saudi, if you get fired, any place that fires you, they still have to provide you with money for at least the next 60 days if they decide to fire you. In America, you get fired from McDonald's, you get your last check and that's it. People don't talk about shit like that they don't know. So even if you get fired there, no matter what, they still got to make sure that you straight for 2 months so you can at least find yourself another job.
Bro, see, Corey, you hitting on some real, like, really complex issues, bro. Because I'm gonna give you a little bit more food for your plate. Now, you just broke down how the Saudis and who was that the other country,
the Emiratis, the Dubai, UAE.
Yeah, exactly.
They call themselves Emiratis over in Dubai.
Right, yeah, exactly. Theocracy. Now, peep this. There's a country similar to those countries that you named in that region that has the same, if not, more resources and mineral wealth as those countries, right? At one point, this country had the highest standard of living on the continent of Africa.
Damn.
Right? All of its citizens, when you got married, you automatically got a home. If you needed medical care, if you needed medical care, they would fly you. This country would fly you anywhere in the world to get that medical treatment. This country was about to create a gold-backed currency. This country created a lake, underground, freshwater lake, under the desert. What did they do to this country? Did the system support this country? Do you know what country I'm talking about?
Has to be Iraq.
Ooh, my friend, you're close. And there's a parallel there. But I'm talking about Libya.
Oh, hell yeah, I knew that was Libya. Matter of fact, my man Gaddafi said, if y'all get rid of me, these motherfuckers are trying to do slavery again. And as soon as they got rid of my man, them motherfuckers tried that shit.
Corey, when I tell you the practices that the UAE and the Saudis have instituted to share amongst its people these countries are emulating what Muammar Gaddafi has set up in Libya. And what did they do to Gaddafi? Simply because he did not want to participate in the system any longer. What did they do to him?
And let me make sure I say this. Obama's punk ass was a part of it. Yeah, they got rid of my man.
Obama, but primarily Hillary Clinton.
Oh, yeah, definitely Hillary.
Hillary Clinton.
And that's why she lost the last time. Because Trump was able to bring up that Benghazi shit.
Absolutely. Bingo. That's Benghazi, right?
I'm going to send you the documentary I watched. It was pretty good, but go ahead, bro.
No, Libya has not been the same since, bro. It probably never will be the same. You talk about a country that was as developed as any country in that region, if not more so, has been basically flattened, taken back to the damn Stone Age damn near, man. Like, it's criminal what they've done to that country. But I want to digress because I know we on the elections, man. But like we always say, there's no separation. All this stuff is connected, man.
Yeah.
The tentacles from this octopi that is the system. It like they used to say about the British Empire. What they used to say, the sun never set on the British Empire.
Yeah.
Right? Did they say that?
Yeah. Well, it's like you told me about the. This is a private conversation me and MJ had when you told me about the whole brick shit the other day.
Word. See? Yep. See, people don't understand. If you understand history, if you do the knowledge and you read the history, you will see that this is not anything new. These types of things have occurred throughout history. Empires rise and fall.
Oh yeah.
The thing about time is the time it takes for empires to rise and fall will decrease as man continues to develop along this journey. So what took 400 years in the past, it took 400 years for the Roman Empire to fall, so they say, it will take half, if not a quarter amount of time for the American Empire to fall.
My brother, while you talking about empires, what happened to the Ottoman Turks, the Ottoman Empire? They had that 500-year rule. They had the part of Mecca and Medina that was important to the whole Islamic empire. The Saudis wanted their home soil back.
They ruled the East.
And who came back behind their back to do it? Lawrence of Arabia, somebody from Britain, came behind back, convinced them to turn their back on their Muslim brother, rebel, and then after they did all that shit, they didn't go through with their promises. They still had Libya in a situation. They had Morocco in a situation, Tunisia, and a couple other the North African countries were still in a situation where Europeans were trying to rule them. What's the dude's name? Mussolini, the Italian. He was messing around there in North Africa for a minute.
Mussolini. You just ripped out a name. They don't talk about Mussolini much these days, do they?
No, they don't.
They don't talk about Mussolini.
No.
But Mussolini is famous for coining a term. You know what the term is?
Spit it.
Mussolini is most known for being associated with fascism.
That's that's all you hear from AOC. He's a fascist.
Right. But most people don't know what fascism is.
No, they just repeating what somebody say.
Bingo. Because Mussolini defined fascism for us. Mussolini told you. Mussolini said fascism is the merger between the corporate and the government. When the corporate begins to run the government, that's fascism. What do we have in America, baby? Who runs America? Who was given personhood in the last decade, right? Personhood. Corporations.
Oh, yeah.
Did you know corporations are people? Had you heard of that before?
Oh, yeah.
Corporate personhood. Man, look, they play these games, these semantic games with the people because IRS1.
Right.
Ignorance reigns supreme over nearly everyone, man.
Yeah, I mean, you see that just when you go to the grocery store, how people are rude and ignorant. They just can't get out their own world. People just, but...
Bruh, I've been saying since I was a youngin', Corey. I only tell people this because, most people can't process it. But since I was little, I got homeboys that you can call right now and they'll tell you, yeah, I used to say this. I used to tell people, I don't belong here. I knew that I didn't belong in this place. I knew it.
Yeah. Just
from the time I was little, man.
You know what fucks me up is when I see a 64-year-old dude going through the same motions again every day. Every day running up, speeding up, flicking people off, doing crazy stuff, driving on the way to work. And I'll be sitting there thinking like, alright when you're 24, but damn, you 64, you still doing this shit? That shit don't get old to you, dog?
Corey, man, you about to make me cry, man. Like, because you just hit a nerve. Like one of my brothers, man. Like one of my day one brothers. I'm talking elementary school. Since we been, he lived 2 doors up from me. We've been boys since 8 years old. And my brother he's married in it, man. He's struggling. He can't get past his past, man. So he's that dude. He's the dude that you just mentioned. 60, although he ain't 64, but he's 60 something.
Right.
That's him. That's him. This is where he at. This is where this brother's at. Just to be quick and brief. This brother, he texted me the other day and said, "Yo, I got a gig, but I need $34 so that I can, get this. Just you know what I mean? Some random like. I mean,
damn.
It's hard for me to even talk about it, man. Because like I said, I get emotional because my brother should not be in this state of dependency at elder age. You know what I mean?
Nah, it's just I learned that. I learned that when I was probably about well, we talked when I was like in my late 20s. I was just like, I don't want to be one of these people that's 50, so I'm gonna find a way to create my own something or have my own land to do something. I'm not gonna be one of these motherfuckers that gotta depend on the system.
Dependent, man. You are elderly dependent, bro.
You know what made me sick? I was probably late 20s, MJ, and I was just driving down the street, and it was one of my coaching checks, and I seen everybody, not at no regular bank, it was like a union or something, on the first of the month, MJ, line from the door of the bank all the way down the street. I said to myself right there, I don't ever want to feel like that, where I gotta stand in line, wait with a bunch of random people, cash a check. Because to me, you look like a system slave when I see them all standing there like that.
Bro, look, you hit that word dependency, man. I come from a family of independent people, man. Like I come from a family of we get it, we gonna get it however we need to get it, be it by hook or crook. So I had them type of people in my family, and it was a big family, bro. Right. But the babies were always the central focus. We doing this so the babies don't have to do this.
Right.
We doing this to make a better way for the babies. And my family has manifested that, Corey, to such a degree that I got close cousins, nephews that are doing this, man, in the system and profiting off of it and benefiting from it and don't want things to change, baby. But I don't care how much money I get. I don't care about money. Money means nothing, man. If you don't have your sanity, bro, if you don't have,
you can't enjoy your life. Like I told
you, can't enjoy life. Yeah.
Right. Like I told you, one of the dudes I told you I cut off, he played in the NFL. And he was on some funny style shit the whole time he was in there. And when he got done playing, he looked at me like, yo, I'm just thinking about this, Corey. Like, how you survive all this time? And then I nodded my head up and down. I see, now you see what the fuck I'm talking about. See, now you finally get it. See, I can go to a baseball game if I want to. I don't need to have the front row seats. I can sit in the bleacher seats for $7. Kick it with just a random person and say, what's up, how you doing? And enjoy it. And if it just so happens they give me some money for a birthday or whatever, and I get like a nicer seat that's supposed to be like $50 and I'm sitting close, I'm just as happy as I was up. I can go to a local high school game or basketball game or amateur boxing event and have a good time. I can drive my bullshit Honda or Toyota and you can laugh at me, but you don't realize this Honda or Toyota done had me go from California to Miami to mother effing Key West to Mackinac Island, Michigan, to Las Vegas to Arizona. I've seen this whole country, and I want everybody to understand. A lot of times y'all just fly over this place in the plane. I'm the type of person I want to stop and see. Yeah, like back in the day, when the railroad roamed in America and they stopped in every little bullshit town that you never heard of, I'm that type of dude. That's how I got lost in the back roads, and I found out where Tuskegee University was at, and how close it was to Auburn University, and how far it was between Montgomery, Alabama. Like, people, y'all gotta understand. Y'all gotta go out and see this earth just flying over the shit. One thing I hate, MJ, is when motherfuckers, I be like, "You ever been to this city?" "Oh yeah, I've been in so and so airport for a minute. I had a layover." I'm like, "Yo, you was in the fucking airport."
It don't count.
Yeah, you got to go out in the city and drive the streets, see what the people are
Yeah.
eating, see what it smells like, see how the people are wearing, see how the people are talking, see the culture, see how this building looked that you saw on TV, and see how it looked in person versus how it looked when you saw it on this video. You understand me?
Bro, they don't understand. Look, do you know there are youngins out here that are making crazy loot, and you know what they doing? They doing exactly that. All they doing is going to different hoods and just talking to people. They
Yeah. Oh yeah, yeah. I've been seeing that they're doing really good on YouTube. Just going and talking to people one on one. They're doing just as good as, honestly, they're doing better than the mainstream media, because the mainstream
they
media
are
has to pay for bots and has to pay
they're
for
the new
comments.
media.
These dudes are
They're
really,
the new media. Yes, they
yes.
are the new media. Nobody's watching mainstream media no
No,
more.
because they've been tired of being lied to. Like, and that's the
They
other
tired of
thing.
being lied to.
That's
They
the
tired
fun.
of being
The
they
funniest
tired.
shit ever. Yeah, they're tired. We're sick and
They
tired.
tired. Absolutely, they're tired of being propagandized.
Yeah.
They don't understand. This is this is not even proper propaganda. It's improper propaganda. They
Well,
saying
this
and
is the
stuff like this.
funniest shit ever, is when they try to say this is misinformation, this is misinformation. And it's just like, even at that debate when they kept correcting Trump saying this is misinformation, the thing that caught me off guard was, so misinformation is anything that people see with their own eyes, but because you as the mainstream media say that, you're going to tell me it's opposite? That's what you're going to tell me, to just lie because that's what you said? I also thought it was funny when they said this is misinformation when they did the question with Trump about soldiers in other wars, and then Kamala Harris goes and says there's no soldiers in foreign places right now, and then the soldiers came on that are stationed in Syria and Iraq right now, and they was like, so what the fuck are we then? What are we? That that
Right.
that's really why they don't want to do it. Just like my wife, when she was in Iraq, because she was in the military for a minute, her parents would call her and be like, this happened and that happened and yada yada yada, and she would sit there and she would say, I don't know what the news is talking about, but we was over by Fallujah, and that shit right there they talking about was not important to the shit that we went through last night. You know what I'm saying?
But
Yeah,
cool. But you know what that is? That is a demonstration, whether we want to admit it or not. That is power.
yeah.
That's power. When you
That's
have
why
the
they're
ability,
mad, because they're losing their power and their grip, and they actually have to get up off their ass and do something. I can't just sit around and be like they're so egotistic and cynical and sick that they really think, yeah, vote for me and make me the mother effing king and the empress, and if you don't vote for me and make me the greatest shit since sliced bread, it's something wrong with you. Fuck out of here, dude. You ain't paying my electric bill or my gas.
so let's explore this more, man. This power dynamic, right? Because we've already established in this conversation that there's virtually no distinction between Republicans and Democrats as far as their um their political objective. They, you know what I mean? They both want
And I'm
to
gonna tell y'all
essentially
something else about Trump
push.
real quick. Trump was initially a Democrat, but he ran as a Republican because he knew the shit that he was talking. He would only get his nomination talking like that. He knew Democrats wouldn't help endorse him doing shit and start him, because one of his first things back in 2015, he was talking about the border wall. That was back then he was complaining about that shit.
No, look, you just hit on a very important fact. Not only was Trump a Democrat, he was a lifelong Democrat. Not like, you know what I mean, he hopped in the Democratic Party for a minute, then hopped out. No, Trump was a registered Democrat for
Yeah.
decades, right?
Yep.
Decades. So what Trump virtually did, well, not virtually, essentially did, was he saw an opportunity.
There you
He
go.
saw he saw a weakness,
There you
and
go.
he basically seized on that opportunity.
There you
Being
go.
being who Trump is.
There
That's
you
what
go.
Trump is. Look, people get it twisted. How can a man that you all of a sudden Trump is a man of the people?
Mm-hmm.
Trump, the man of the people. Trump. We
He
know Trump.
he knew
Hip
what the
hop
fuck
knows Trump,
exactly. He knew what the fuck
right?
he was doing. Choke no joke was just going off on Diddy the other day. He said, "Yo, like nigga, how like niggas gonna style on Trump?" And he's like, "And I'm not into the big political thing. How y'all niggas gonna style on Trump for these Democrats and some of these people when before they would give you a record deal? I remember Trump was there giving you this bread in the hood, giving you that bread in the hood, puffing, and now you gonna go sell out for Kamala Harris and them, and these the same motherfuckers that put you in jail. Who was the?
Bro, I don't know why. I don't know why. But you see this movie? You ever see the movie King of New York?
Oh my God, you know Schoolie D was on the soundtrack. You know it.
Bro, I don't know why. I keep every time I think about Christopher Walken, King of New York. You know what I mean? Coming home from jail and him on the subway with the toolie in his waistband and the thumbs come up like yo, give us our stuff and my man just he don't even move. He just open his coat up like look, you know what you're dealing with. Then he
Right,
just throw him a roll, right?
right.
Talk about every time I think about that scene, for some reason I think about Trump. I don't know.
Yeah, that's because he wore that long ass jacket like they used to wear back in the day too. Them long ass wool joints.
Yeah, but look, Corey, this is why I say that there's a thread that runs you through consciousness and like humanity. Because if you look at the way these people portray Trump, the little memes, the little mock-ups they do of him, it's always they put Trump in like superhero on a superhero body or
Yeah,
Trump. You know what I mean? Like putting them in these real like thuggish, manly type. You know what I mean? Even though
yeah,
this is an old dude, this is an old elderly dude, right?
right.
But that's the impression that people have of this dude. Like this dude he's gangster. The hood call him gangster. The conservatives they call him
A
they'll
hero.
call him. There you go. There you go. Like this dude is just he has this thing. I can't explain it. He just got this thing where he's able to connect with people he got no business connection with. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Type of thing.
yeah, yeah.
And you can't deny it.
You can't deny it at all.
No, you can't deny it, man. So I
I'm
understand
trying to find
about
this video. Keep spinning. I'm trying to find this video clip. I want to play it during the show real quick because I think you're gonna be on the floor crying. It was how one of these hosts was getting at Jimmy Kimmel and Seth Meyers and I.
all over.
Hold
Yeah.
on, let me keep rapping. I'm about to find this. You about to
Okay,
be
yeah,
crying.
no. I'll go ahead and riff a little bit because I wanted to really break down this whole false dichotomy or division or whatever you want to call it between these two parties. No, there is no division. There's no distinction between these two parties. The parties are funded by the same folks. If you look at the primary donors of the Democrats and the primary donors of the Republicans, I guarantee you, they're going to be the same entities. They're going to be the same entities because there's only one party. It's the money party. Money, cream. Wu Tang told you, cash rules everything around me. Cream. So if you understand that fact, it makes understanding how these politicians move all that easier. We understand that the money party is going to win regardless of who's in there. So that's why Trump, he can switch from Democrat to Republican. Cheney, they can switch from Republican to Democrat. They can bounce back and forth. They leave the Secretary of the Army or the defense, whatever. He comes from a defense industry, bounces right into government. As soon as he leaves government, what are you going to do? He's going to bounce right back onto the board of Lockheed Martin or Northrop Grumman or whoever, whatever defense. It's the corporate money that runs everything.
Listen,
If you understand that, you lost.
listen, and what you saying right now, I realize that. Like I knew it was bullshit, but I really realized it after the last election, and I remembered after this election. So after the
Yeah.
last election, they said, Paul Ryan, There's a bunch of Republicans that didn't like Trump. They didn't like him, and they didn't like how he ran shit. And they didn't like how powerful he was. They went along with it because they wanted the party to win, but they were jealous, and that's how exactly, and that's how he lost a state like Georgia that's never been a Democratic state. That's how he lost a state like Wisconsin and a state like Arizona that had never been Democratic. They the Republican governor of mother effing Arizona, Doug Ducey, sat along and signed in Joe Biden as president. The same mother effer in Georgia, Raffensperger, and then Brian Kemp, because they didn't like how Trump checked them about COVID, and a bunch of other dirtbag shit that I learned behind the scenes. They went ahead and wrote Joe Biden in. This time, because the people were so pissed off, and they said the state legislatures have to be in charge of the electoral college votes and how it's voted, and nobody's stupid, dog. You can't sit around and count for no fucking 15 A's and then magically count 300 more votes than a nigga and then give him a whole state. Like, fuck out of here. That's never happened. But when I seen that, and then I seen how this shit happened in 2024, I said, okay, what MJ's saying is true. They both work together behind the scenes, because magically this Republican governor did this right shit, but before the Democratic governors didn't do shit. And the only reason they did this shit this time, MJ, is because they saw that the American people really thought that there was integrity a problem and their fucking vote wasn't counting. So this time around, they had to say, we got to do something to make this shit look right, to keep them sacrificed, because they about to get hip to our system for real.
My man, look, this is how I know, we know, that they be playing the public, right? Look, we live in a nation of what? I think it's 320 million people, something like that, right?
Yeah.
Of that 320 million people, black men, and this is that's not the voting population. That's that's just the overall population. If we took the voting population, it's probably a couple hundred, maybe 200 million people, whatever. And of that 200 million, black men represent a like a small, maybe I don't know, maybe 1.5, maybe 2%, maybe something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Of that 200 million. But yet the Democratic Party tried to demonize black men and make them feel guilty because they wouldn't support Kamala Harris. No, goddamn well, you could have had every registered goddamn black male vote in the whole country. You could have dug up their grandfathers, all that, and they still would have made a difference numerically in the election.
Right. I was watching some Deep on History Channel. I meant to text you the other day. The guy who was the president after Lincoln passed away, they actually had blacks voting in the South before Reconstruction.
Andrew Johnson.
Somebody like that. It was either him or Ulysses Grant, one of them motherfuckers.
Johnson was the president. Johnson betrayed during Reconstruction. He betrayed the not only betrayed black people, he betrayed the country.
Yeah.
Because he's the one who refused to grant blacks 40 acres and a mule.
Okay, so it might have been him. But right before him, they said pretty much Ulysses Grant got in on the black vote of black men in the South right after slavery. They said, like, so if you look at...
That's a totally different dynamic, man. We talking about a different time.
No. I know it's a totally different dynamic. I just thought it was funny.
That's when we had numerical strength. That's when we actually... Reconstruction was about that. Reconstruction was us flexing our muscle, our numerical muscle.
Right. That's what. Well, we talked about it on the other show because we know they can't outfuck us. They know we blow them backs out and we have something pop out. So that's how that
because
shit goes.
Remember, back in those times, the engine of the country was the South. Right? America wasn't an industrial nation. It was an agrarian nation back then. Right?
Yeah.
We weren't, our industry, our main thing was, why was these people working?
Cotton.
They was working in the field. Cotton. We was exporting, we were the world exporter of cotton.
Yo, I was driving through rural Texas one time, and I seen cotton fields. And the type of nigga I am, MJ. I had my hand on my chest. I said, man, I'm about to fucking Boss Megan out here like you know how you nigga. You already know. I'm like, damn. Like everybody got to wear fucking clothes. I'm like, yo, man, I want to look at this
Bro,
motherfucking cotton, nigga. Like,
look,
and it was the
that
part of
area,
Texas too. This is another thing with people ignorant too. It was the part of Texas. It was West Texas. It was considered where the Mexican army was at. See, a lot of people don't know this, and that's why when I say when the blacks and Mexicans was cool for a
bro,
while, and the beef they had was generated by the white men. Um, this is how you notice because during that time, see, Juneteenth was based on what happened in Galveston, my brother. And if you know where Galveston is, MJ, Galveston is over by Houston and Beaumont, and those are very close to the Louisiana line. Where I'm at is down I-35, Dallas, Waco, Austin, San Antonio, down to Corpus Christi, Laredo, etc., etc. At that time, blacks, if they wanted to escape slavery or escape a KKK shit, they would come to that part of Texas because the Mexican army said you cannot have any human being as a slave. Also, why we have so much Native American, a lot of us in our blood is because the Native Americans were on that side of Texas. So what people don't understand is, 1993, and this is another subject. A Compton cop who was around, one of his partners died when the whole Biggie Tupac thing was done. He said, "Let me tell y'all something." He said, "Blacks and Mexicans were so tight for so many years." He said they slept with the same girls, they went to the same clubs, everything was cool. He said, and then one phone call came down from the prison system because you know a lot of the Mexican gangs they run shit through the prison system, and it said we can no longer get money with the blacks because one of the Mexican gangs made a big drug deal with the Aryan Brotherhood. So you got the Norteños and you got the Serranos. One of them is allies with the Aryan Brotherhood, and then the other group of Mexican brothers are allies with the Bloods and Crips.
my brother. Now, you going down another little path that I happen to have been reading about here in the past few months. And I'm gonna drop a source so that people don't think that I'm talking out my ass. I'm gonna drop a source. And the source is Dr. Gerald Horn. Dr. Gerald Horn. Everybody needs to be listening to Dr. Gerald Horn. Go on to YouTube, put him in the search engine. Dr. Horn is prolific. This brother probably wrote about 40, 50 books. And he's an elder. Dr. Horn, I think, is almost 80 years old, still very active, still very sharp, still putting out great work. Dr. Horn has a book called The Counter Revolution of 1776, Slave Resistance and the Origins of the United States of America, where he talks about the alliances between the country that you just mentioned, Mexico, and another country that's a little south of us, Haiti, and how the Mexicans supported the Haitian Revolution. There's a president by the name of Vicente Guerrero.
I believe it.
Who was the president of Mexico at that time. He was a president of Mexico during the 19th century, right? And Guerrero was black.
Mm-hmm.
Did you know Mexico had a black president?
Listen, it's a whole black part of Mexico now.
Guerrero
A lot
was
of
an
that.
Afro.
Listen, if you talk to my Mexican, I'm gonna let you keep rolling. But if you talk to my Mexican homies now, look it up on all the They got all the like Spanish channels up there, like Univision and shit, Telemundo.
Right.
Look at the girls and look at the dudes that are on Telemundo and on Univision, and look at how many of them and how they look compared to the brown skinned Mexican chicks. Like how many chicks that look more like they from Spain that are on those channels than actual Mexican chicks that look like brown skinned Mexican chicks.
Bro, we already know half the United States used to be Mexico. We already know that.
Yeah, we know that.
Right? So, at one point, all these little boundaries, these little, you know what I mean, these lines, these demarcations, and this, you know what I mean, this state starts here, and this city starts. None of that existed back in them times. You know what I mean? They were just forming a lot of this shit.
Right.
So when I've read about Guerrero and I listened to Dr. Horn's presentation about how Guerrero and helping Toussaint and the Haitians fight against obviously the French and the Spanish. These brothers shook. They shook the powers that be in the United States who were trying to set up their own slave system. Mm-hmm. This is why the United States, people don't understand. People think that all those slaves went from Africa to the United States. No, my friends, if you look at the largest populations of Africans outside of Africa, they exist in Brazil.
Brazil. Yeah.
Right? The majority of those slaves went south. They went south. They went to South America and then eventually worked their way up into the Caribbean.
Right. That's why so many of us I didn't realize. Like when I was younger, I knew a lot of my homies from New York. They just say I'm from the islands, but I mean, it's so many people from Brooklyn and Trinidad, Barbados. And then when I looked on the map one day, just being on my curious self, I said, "Holy shit!" I said, "Look at all of this stretch all the way down to here. These are all black people. That's great from Bahamas on down. Like just like wow, I never really thought about it like that."
Absolutely. So see, this is the game. Like I said, when ignorance reigns supreme over nearly everyone, they can tell you that they would we shipped all these millions of slaves from Africa to America. No, you didn't. Your slaves were inbred from indigenous blacks that were already here.
Right.
The Choctaw, the Blackfeet, the Cherokee, the Powhatan, the who are Flavor Flav people. They're the Flavor Flav he belongs to a tribe out of New York.
Blackfoot tribe?
Huh?
The Blackfoot tribe?
Who?
The Blackfoot tribe.
No, his people are they're from upstate New York. His people are it'll come to me. It's not Wampanoag. It's jeez, I can't believe I'm blanking on that tribe. But my point is that the reason why they did this is so that this is why everybody loves black people, but nobody respects black people because black people don't have sovereignty, right?
Right.
Black is not a sovereign nation. It has no standing in the world body. This is why they had to reclassify all the people that were here so that you can't lay claim to what is rightfully yours and be recognized in the world courts.
I believe it.
So this is why they want us always to associate as black, and they don't want you going back and uncovering what your people were called before they got here. Mm-hmm. But all you have to do, for all you listening, go into your county records, look at the names and of streams, the rivers. Look at the names of the historical names of the towns, because in many instances they didn't even bother to replace the names of these places, right?
Right.
So this is why you got the Chesapeake Bay. The Chesapeake is not a European name. Chesapeake is
it's Native American.
That's a Native American name.
Yeah, Native
this
American.
Is why you got. I can name
Susquehanna River. Talking about the Susquehanna River.
Absolutely, the Powhatan River. You know what I mean? The Patuxent River. You know, all of these, and this exists all over the country, man. Yeah. But they had to bury this so that we would not be able to reclaim what is rightfully.
The Guadalupe River here in Texas, the Rio Grande River, the Mother Evan Trinity River.
Absolutely. These are not European names, man. You go to the interior.
No, San Antonio is 300 years old. The city of San Antonio is 300 years old. This is way before Davy Crockett came here. It was called San Antonio back then.
Yeah, man. So we really, man. I say, we un gente. We un gente. What that means is one people. Like all of the mestizos, the blacks, the Native Americans, um, all of these people are one people. You can walk from Canada down to the tip of South America, man.
Listen,
You can walk. You don't need to get on
before
no
the
plane or
shit,
no boat.
what do most Alaskans look like? MJ, Native Alaskan people, what do they look like?
Exactly. They look,
And
they
guess
look black
what?
as blue.
And guess what happened thousands of years ago before that ice glacier? It ain't but 50 miles from Alaska to mother from Russia. Now,
Right?
before
Very straight.
and you still got little Diomede and big Diomede in between them.
Come on, man.
So what
See,
the hell you think? So what the hell you think happened before that glacier broke? You could walk across
bro,
that motherfucker.
bro. This is like I said. This is stuff they do not want you knowing. They do not want you understanding your true origins, man. Because we the world. I'm gonna tell you the truth, man. We are the ones that the world is waiting on.
Yeah,
The world is waiting on us to turn up and reclaim what is ours. They've
yeah.
seen it before, but they already saw. You saw what happened in the 60s and 70s when we turned up. We
Man,
sparked
listen.
revolution all over the planet.
Let me tell you something. When they did the Muslim conquest back in the day, and right after the Prophet Muhammad died, they was going to all these places, and they fought their way all the way to Jerusalem, and they was get down to lay it down. They was laying it down. Guess where they had the hardest fight at? And they had to ask them, "Hey, will y'all convert to Islam? We give y'all props. Y'all some bad warriors." You know who they, you know who those people were?
Oh,
Called the Nubians.
of course,
If you read it in the Islamic text, they're called the Nubian warriors, South Egypt, dark skinned
of
people.
course, of
Everybody
course.
they would come and they would have to fight. They would come. Everybody else they was kicking ass.
And,
Pop, pop.
and, I, and I don't want to get it twisted, man. I don't want people to think that we basing shit on skin color. This ain't a skin color thing,
Listen,
right? This
it's
is a
crazy as
consciousness thing.
me and you outside of politics. We watch certain sports. Even Teofimo Lopez said out of his crazy mouth, "We all come from Africa."
Right? This ain't no skin color thing, man. You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
I want people to there's another source that I want to drop on people who, if they don't believe what we're saying, there's a brother on YouTube. He's Costa Rican. He's from Costa Rica. His name is Kirmayo Aho, right? Kirmayo Aho. And Kirmayo, I give this brother all the props in the world because he does not have to reveal these things that he's discovering. But when he starts to, and this is not, like I said, this is a Costa Rican brother. So this brother, he can probably pass for white. He's so fair skinned. But when he starts dropping jewels on the Africans, the exchange between the indigenous Americans and the Africans, because we know that before Europeans came to this land, Africans were already here.
Yeah.
They've been here,
Oh yeah.
been interbred and dispersed with the people, amongst the people here.
I mean, just look at how they try to take all of the native. I'm gonna tell you this before I play this clip, and I ain't
Uh,
telling nobody because I don't want nobody else to know and mess up some of the best places I've had to go, MJ, when I've had to stop and use the bathroom, and I haven't been able to. They don't force you to buy nothing to use the bathroom. Some of the greatest places rest areas I've stopped along this country, from our side of the country going through to California, and they got Native American reservations everywhere. Some of the most loving people, some of the most greatest places I ever did was uh, Native American reservations and some of the stuff they own, whether it be casinos, gases, hotels. I can't wait till you see that flower, whatever it is, the Flower Mountain, the thing that Leonardo DiCaprio playing. I can't wait till you and your people sit down and watch that movie. That's some real shit.
no
Wait till you
doubt,
see that.
no
But
doubt.
some of the best places I stop, you go to some place they look at you mean, nasty. You gotta show your ID. You stop in one of them places, Native American. How can I help you, brother? I gotta use the bathroom. I don't gamble or nothing like that, but I just gotta use the bathroom. I ain't got this one. Go ahead, my man. Oh yeah, you need to get back this way. Okay, this mountain right here, it gets snow on it. Cause in some of them places where they live at, it'd be snow in one part of the state, and then in the other part of the state it'd be sunny. Some
Facts.
parts of the none. They just like, okay, my brother, this is going to be snowy mountain range. You want to go around this way if you want to get to this part of the country or this or that. But let me let you hear this. But some of the best people I've ever met in my life, Native American people. But I want you to hear this shit real quick.
And you know what that means. Jimmy Carter has to stay alive for 4 more years. It's also time for liberals to tell themselves that they're still right about everything and their hysteria and delusions of persecution are perfectly normal. Yet right now, they're melting like that stick of butter Joy Behar keeps between her thighs to prevent chafing. Case in point, last night, all the other late-night hosts threw a hissy fit. It's too bad Tim Waltz is still grieving, or he could send them all a sack of industrial-strength tampons. Poor Jimmy. True, it was a terrible night for women, children, and for the hundreds of thousands of hard-working immigrants who cut his lawn.
It was a terrible night for women, for children, for the hundreds of thousands of hardworking immigrants who make this country go. For healthcare, for our climate, for science, for journalism, for justice, for free speech. It was a terrible night for poor people, for the middle class, for seniors who rely on Social Security, for our allies in Ukraine, for NATO, for and democracy and decency. And it was a terrible night for everyone who voted against him. And guess what? It was a bad night for everyone who voted for him, too. You just don't realize it yet.
Oh. You know what? If I ever cry on TV, it'll be because Maroon 5 put out a new song. But that's it. You big. Now, remember when Johnny Carson cried like a baby over Ronald Reagan getting elected? Yeah, neither do I. And you know why he didn't? Because his wife didn't keep his balls in a Tupperware container next to a box of tofu burgers. But the killer phrase was at the end when Kimmel said, "You just don't realize it." Because you see, he's smarter than you. And he needs you to know that. And his ego can't bear that there's someone out there more famous and more influential than him. I got news for you, Kimmel. The last time you mattered, Bruce Jenner still had a penis. Love you, Bruce.
I just want you to hear a little bit of that. How he was going at Jimmy Kimmel. That shit was funny to me.
Yo, who is that, man? Who's that beta male who was talking?
Gutfield. I'll send you the link.
Oh, that was the dude from Trump roast, the Trump rally.
Yeah. That motherfucker had me on the floor when he said, "I'm sorry, last time your opinion mattered, Bruce Jenner still had a penis." I fell off.
Yeah, that what's his name? Hinchcliffe or whatever. Yeah, he's known for let's say getting under people's skin.
Yeah.
From what I heard. But hey, I listen to Corey Holcomb. So you listen to Corey Holcomb, you can listen to anybody.
Oh yeah, that's what I'm saying. That motherfucker's something else too. But that shit had me weak because when I seen Jimmy Kimmel with the fake crying, I just in the back of my head I'm like, yep, paid actors. And I like how he said, yeah, Jimmy, like those hardworking illegals that cut your lawn every day, motherfucker, for the cheap price. Yeah, whatever.
Yeah, so I caught little snippets of that Kimmel thing, but I'm like, I'm immune to mainstream technology. I don't really mess with the mainstream.
Not a lot of people mess with them. They ain't gonna listen, bro. That's why they starting this training about 5-6 years from now. It ain't gonna matter. Matter of fact, MJ, I'm gonna tell you some shit, bro. About 2005, 2006. I was telling everybody, I said, this YouTube shit, I said, watch, it's going to be a point where you ain't even going to need a record deal no more to get your shit heard. And now that moment is now. Motherfuckers that get a record deal now, it's just to get some money in their pocket, maybe put their shit overseas. But I said, it's just to the point that it's going to be where you ain't even going to need a record deal to get your music heard no more. And that's how that shit is now already.
Yeah, and I forgot somebody. Oh yeah, yeah. I was listening to my man Craig Fax from Corey Holcomb. He was saying the same thing. How it's not like back in the day where you had A&R people and scouts, talent scouts. Scouring the country looking for the. He's like, nah. He's like, now you got to come already pre-packaged. Like
Mm-hmm.
they, you got to develop it yourself, and then they'll mess with you. But
Yeah.
as far as them investing in you and putting money in you, and he's like, them days is gone.
Yep. That's what up. Yep. Jay Z said that about 10 years ago. Back when Rihanna first got hot, he said, "What do you think is missing now?" He said, "There's no artist development anymore. It's just they just throw you out here and package you. They don't know how to develop artists anymore." Which is why you see, maybe only a handful of these artists that are 10 years later. And the reason why somebody like Future is so good and has been out so long is because where did Future come from? Future came from Dungeon Family, Outkast, and
Yeah,
them. You know what I mean? So he learned how to make music from the raw, gritty all the way up. That's why most of these rappers and stuff now, they may have a 4 or 5 year run, and you don't hear nothing. You can't sit back and be like, "Yo, it's been 10 years, and every year for 10 years, my favorite artist dropped this album," because
yeah,
and a new one
yeah,
come out every week. Like when a new artist came out before we was coming up, you would be like, oh, like you would like really shake your head up and down and be like, yo, this dude's different. Now they come out with a new artist not every other week but every other day, and
yeah.
before you know they evaporated. You
They
ain't heard
go,
from them ever since.
they go. But we basically get a world that model, right? Because all that artist development, the first outfit to really be known for that was who? It was Motown, right?
Oh yeah,
Right?
Motown. Well, yeah, but before y'all did No Limit, Rockefeller, all that shit, Motown was pumping them up. And listen, when
Motown was known for artist development. Like, you know what I mean?
bro,
All their artists went through school. They had a school up in
bro,
Motown.
I remember one lady said, "I want to learn how to sing," and Barry Gordy told her, he was like, "You can't sing." She's like, "Okay, well, I really want to work in Motown." She ended up being the secretary of Motown for years after that.
Yeah, yeah. But Motown, like I said, they were legendary because they had not only vocal coaches, but they had like etiquette coaches.
Oh yeah,
They had media coaches. They had obviously dance coaches. They had a team of people that basically, like what we talked about, they developed their artists.
yeah,
So, so by the time this is why Motown was cranking out so many crossover artists
bro,
during the time where blacks was basically segregated to AM radio.
bro. Let me tell you something. Yeah, because I remember my mom told me that's what they grew up. They had so many different AM radio DJs and VJs. But let me tell you something. When you get a chance, watch that Motown documentary on Showtime. If you ain't got rid of it, I got rid of Showtime. But when I had it, I had it. It's a hell of a documentary.
Yeah, I've seen that. I've seen that documentary several times.
Okay, my man. Yeah,
Yeah,
it was beautiful to see Smokey and Barry how tight they still was in the 80s and 90s.
man, look, that's never going to be replicated because it's a product. It was a product of the era and a product of the times, and them times ain't gonna never come back.
And when brothers
But
was tight back then, they was tight. Couldn't no amount of money or pussy make you fall out over no stupid
they
shit.
had no other choice, bro. This is during segregation. They had no other choice. You feel me?
Mm.
This is why, Corey. This is why they are afraid of black unity, man.
Yep.
Because the times when we were most productive weren't during the integration period. It was during the segregated times.
Listen, you ain't gotta tell me the Negro Leagues, all the HBCUs. This is why I can't stand niggas saying I can't do this, I get that, and I be going through. I say, nigga, let me tell you something. You see this building right here? Which one? Yeah, you see this right here? Motherfucker made this 100 something years ago. Black person. They ain't give him nothing. You see this design right here at Langston University? You see this fucking building right here at Mother effing Tuskegee? You see this building here at Howard? You see this building here at Hampton? You see when this was built? They built these pillars and this big ass concrete mother effing shit years ago. Well, no white people helping them build it. They didn't call no construction company to do it. They did this shit. So y'all
Yes,
telling me y'all can't figure this shit out? Fuck
man.
out of here,
Look,
man.
look. Chris Rock. He had a bit he used to do back in the '90s, and he said, "I'll never forget this line." He said, "That shit's an oxymoron, like black unity."
Yeah.
Fucked my head up because it was so on point. Like we got to a point now where it don't even go together. Black and unity don't even go together, and that is what got us where we, you know what I mean, where we ultimately landed was our unity got us through all of that,
It,
and
it,
we
it's no reason
just
why we
don't
don't
even.
have, it's no reason why I can't see Rick Ross, 50 Cent, Jay Z put some money together and build a hotel on the Vegas Strip. But a Malaysian company, and I got shout out to anybody that's Malaysian. I got a lot of friends that rock with them, but a Malaysian company can come over here and buy Resorts World.
Bro, bro, forget all that. How about just feeding the babies, man? Like, how about just start feed the baby? Like, there shouldn't be no kids in any inner city schools. Fuck that. Any schools going
There shouldn't be
hungry.
no
In the moment.
HBCUs that need to ask the government for money either. We should be able to put that shit together. We shouldn't have
Feed
to
the
ask the government
babies,
for money.
man.
So, depending on who's the president, we got to comply with tranny protocol or not comply with tranny protocol, depending on who's in office. That's ridiculous. We should be able to support all those institutions ourselves.
Man, like I said, man, we have the capacity, but what we lack is the will. Like
Hmm.
nobody wants that. Right? We don't want to put the babies before our own personal satisfaction and immediate
There you go.
gratification.
There you go. And that's
You
why
know what I mean?
they went after our women first.
God damn. Blowing this candle and shit, this motherfucker setting off goddamn smoke alarms and shit. God damn. What kind of candle is this? I made this homemade candle and I guess it's smoking too much.
Yo, I made some homemade stuff. Matter of fact, when it get done curing, I'm gonna send you something, and I'm gonna send Dad something. Let me know how you
Yeah,
like it.
man. But that's why I love these conversations, man, because if this doesn't illustrate anything else, it illustrates how there's no separation.
Oh damn.
There's no separation from any of this stuff, man. I talked about last week 9 areas of human people activity,
That's deep.
right? Human
Yeah, yeah.
activity.
Go ahead and name them off because I never thought about that shit before as deep as I am. Go ahead and name all them off right now.
And this ain't me. This is Dr. Neely Fuller and Dr. Francis Cress Wellesley. This is their um, interpretation of our civilization and how they've manipulated humans. That they divided activities into these 9 categories: economics, education, entertainment, labor, law, politics, religion, sex, and war.
That's
And there's a
deep.
common thread that runs between all of them. There's no separation between these human activities because all humans on the planet are engaged in some form of these activities
That's
at
deep.
all times.
That's deep.
You know what I mean? So when you start to look at the world and understand it in those terms and reject the separation that they try to inflict upon us, the division that they try to inflict upon us, things become a lot clearer, bro. You can move in a much more direct and positive manner. You don't have to always be subject and be dependent.
Right.
You know what I mean? So I'm
Right.
not a rich Corey. I never wanted to be rich. I never, even though I've been very very fortunate, but I never wanted to be rich. I never aspired to be rich. I just aspired to be like my great grandfather and raise my babies, man, and have a family and raise my family and be revered within my family. That was my number one goal.
Listen, the people I live with for a minute, they will say, "Why don't you get this job? Why don't you get that job? Or why don't you do this or do that?" And they would, we'd have these clashing, this headbutts. But in the other family I told you about, I stayed with right before I went to college, they understood me more. And then even some of the dudes I fell out with who had professional sports, options, never invested their money, never understood how shit worked. They even let them know like Corey could be the happiest person on the planet Earth if he make 40 grand a year, have a basic house with peace, and he get up every day and he coach athletics or he a director of athletics. I'm the type of person I don't need to be Nick Saban. I don't need to be Coach Harbaugh. I don't need to be uh, mother effing Coach Belichick. I don't need to be the head coach. What's my man's name that won with the Celtics when they had the big three? I don't need to be Doc Rivers.
Doc Rivers, yeah.
Yeah, I don't need to be them. Give me a little bullshit JUCO and somewhere. Give me a house near the school, and I'm good with seeing generations of dudes live out their dreams, do something with it, and be productive men and be productive family men, most importantly, and not leave their kids to be with single mothers. I'm good with a whole generation of that. I could give a shit less about the TV or the limelight because I'm getting paid to do something I enjoy to do. I don't need money. I don't desire money, but I know I need money to be able to do the shit that I want to do because I'm not gonna settle for the bullshit they try and give you in this society.
Yeah, man, it's unfortunate that they've cast this spell over the human population, and they got everybody aspiring to be like them. Like I was teasing my homie the other day because just the brother I was talking to you about, the dependent brother, and I was teasing him because
Oh,
he
I
was
thought you was
complaining
talking
about.
about. I thought you was talking about the baby old brother. But go ahead.
Oh no, not Charlie. That's a whole other conversation, bro.
Yeah, that's a different time. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Go ahead.
Yeah, but this dude, he was complaining about, one of my other brothers that he was working for, and he was complaining about how this brother was treating him. But I was telling him, like, look, this is a manifestation of our system. Our system is full of people who want to be like the people that are ruling over them. They want to be in their position.
Right.
Everybody wants to be a boss. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like everybody want to be a boss. Nobody want to be a worker. Everybody want to
Yeah.
be a boss.
Yeah.
Right?
And you know what's crazy, MJ? I never wanted to be a boss. I was actually the guy. I was happy with being a worker. I was happy with being a high school history teacher and a linebacker coach, making 50 grand a year, working for 30 years, and then retiring, getting 75% of my salary. I never wanted to be that. But when I seen you get sucked up in so much bullshit, I was just like, damn, I'm mine as well. So the way I ended up being like independent or wanting to be an entrepreneur or boss was not because I wanted to be. It actually accidentally happened.
But see, there's one type of boss, and then there's the type of boss that's promoted. Like everybody wants to be the type of boss, the visible boss, that everybody knows you're the boss. Like
Yeah.
you know what I mean? You're constantly reminded that this is the boss. Like you know what I mean?
Yeah.
There's other types of bosses. There are bosses that will be in the background, and bosses who don't need to have 4 private jets
Yeah.
and a home in every destination that
Listen.
they go to, and having 1,000 people serving them and working for them, and them using an inordinate amount of resources and messing up our planet doing it.
Yo.
You don't
Yo.
have to be that type of boss.
Yo, MJ, you see where Warren Buffett live at, right?
Bingo. You live in the same house. You live in the same house. I think he bought it like 50 years ago.
Shit. Motherfucker drive
Yeah.
Motherfucker drive a Hyundai and live in $100,000 house.
Court, man, look, I'm telling you, bro. Like, if you have I'm not going to compare myself to Warren Buffett. I don't even have the same mindset because I don't know what type of mindset you got to have to try to accumulate billions and billions of dollars as one person or as one entity and then sit on that shit. Like, you know what I mean? What's the point? Okay,
Right.
you won. You got the most money. Okay, now put that shit back in the pot and let it, you know what I mean? Let it recirculate.
Right,
And then
help
let's
some
see you
people.
do it again.
Yeah, keep some millions in there just for you, just so you straight, but then the rest of that shit just help something.
Yeah, exactly. Redistribute it. But the type of mindset, and this is a sickness that has infected humanity, particularly throughout the Western world. The Western world, everybody wants to be, like I said, a boss. They want the
Yeah.
millions. They want They don't want to. They want to live in luxury. They don't want to just live good and
Right.
comfortably. They want to live in luxury.
They want to
You
live in
feel me?
luxury. And I told somebody the other day, they was like,
Yeah.
"Would you live here?" This and I said, "Yeah, I would live here." They're like, "You wouldn't want to live in this suburb?" This I said, "No." I said, "This is what y'all don't understand as a society is that you don't have to live like that. You don't have to be in the bed, but you know what you have to do? You have to pick up the shit that your dog drops on the side of the street. You have to be quiet and be respectful to your neighbor. You have to clean up when the snow gets around and sweep and do respectful things." I said, if y'all would just do that, you wouldn't need to pay all this money to do these things. But y'all don't have the basic civil, character and public decency of how to respect people. And that's why rich people make so much money and people got to pay so much money to get to certain places because y'all mentality. See, you rich. To me, rich is not what you have in your pocket. To me, rich is a mentality.
Yeah, it's a mindset. Definitely, there's a wealthy mindset, and
Yeah. I
in the
could live in a
material
I could live
realm.
next door to you, and I know you live in a nice spot, but I could live next door to you, and I tell you what. Oh, and I'm gonna stay, and say this real quick, because I gotta bust a move, but we gonna finish this. This is a deep, good ass conversation. But I was telling our co-host, I ain't gonna say his name, because he might not want nothing to do with politics. It was after somebody, a hip hop person, got killed, right? And I sent him a message, MJ, and I said, "Do you know who this is?" He said, "Nah, who is this?" I said, "It's the richest black man in America." He said, "Really?" I said, "You never heard of him, have you?" He said, "Nah." I said, "Look at how much money he worth and how much money he make." And he was like, "Damn, why I ain't never heard of him?" And I said, "There you go."
There it is.
Yep.
Yo, you still there?
Yeah, I'm still here. I'm still here, B.
Oh,
I just
okay.
wanted to tell you that because I talked to our co-host that got off with us early this morning, and I
Good.
said, "Yo," I said, "Do you know who this is?" He said, "Nah." And it goes back to your thing about being a boss and wanting to be rich and all that. The richest motherfuckers you know are that around, you wouldn't even know.
Right. Yeah, that's how they move. That's how they move. Exactly. Man, look, this capitalist thing, bro. They didn't put the label on it, so I'm gonna call it what it is. They call it capitalism. This capitalism thing is built on a concept called infinite growth, and
Yeah.
there's no such thing.
I'll
There's
never.
no such thing.
It's no thing. I'll never forget this though, MJ, and this gonna make you laugh. Cats waiting at the bus, laughing at me because I think I had on some Payless shoes or something like that. These niggas got Louis Vuittons, maybe even Jordans, and I'm not trying to say I'm better than nobody. Nothing. They waiting at the bus stop, $2,000 on their feet, but they laughing at me because I spent $10 on my feet, but I had a car that could take me anywhere. Most
And,
importantly, what you wearing on your feet, dumbass, do you know how many acres of land you could buy with it and actually have a product that everybody could get from you?
and you're not a target. Because up here in PG County, oh, they getting people for you wearing them Louis Vuitton shoes, Gucci shoes with $2,000 shoes, Balenciaga shoes. You might be coming home barefoot.
It's crazy.
That's
Crazy.
how they roll up here.
Crazy. Pair of shoes.
That's what,
A pair of
that's
shoes.
real.
I'd rather learn how to make my own pair of shoes.
Look, they got a joint. You can look this up. This was in the news just a couple of days ago. They got a joint over here, and it's over in Largo. It's a high end, athletic. They sell all them high end shoes, Balenciaga. They said that store been open like 2 years. They say they've been hit like 3 different times in the 2 years they've been over in this little shopping center, man.
That's crazy.
And they do the same thing. They come through with the little joint that, you know, them cut through metal, cut the little bars they got on the joint,
That's
come
crazy.
right through the window, and cameras don't mean none of these people. They just mask up,
Yeah.
come in, go shopping. They said last time they hit them dudes for 6 figures, man.
That's crazy. That's crazy. And what the crazy part to me, MJ, is people willing to pay that much for it.
Yeah, that is bugged, man. Bugged. I can't. Look, I talk to my sons all the time, and they be thanking me. They be like, "Yeah, Dad, thank you so much for not buying us all that expensive, you know, Jordans and stuff when we was growing up, just buying us basic shoes or whatever." Because I'm looking at that now. I'm looking at what these kids do, because my son works at a school. He's like, I'm looking at what these kids are wearing in school, and I'm like, how can your parents afford to buy you, you know what I mean, blah, these shoes? And he said these people be shelling out that money. Whatever these people do, they doing it, because they getting it for these kids, man, and they wearing it to these schools.
And they can't make it to PTA meetings, but that's a whole nother show. And I'm gonna finish with a quote from MJ on this one. This was based on what you was just pretty much saying. What was you saying about the whole education and the money and using your brain shit?
Oh,
how people be caught up in this system so hard and don't even understand that your soul and your mentality is rich.
Absolutely, man.
And oh no, here we go. I'm gonna end up with this. It came back to me. The quote that is the best MJ quote I ever heard. The reason why they keep us separated, the reason why they don't take us serious, is because all the wealth is in land. All the wealth is in the land. All these things. When they want to go over there and steal some more artifacts so they can tell you a bullshit story about history, that's when they go back over to Iraq and invade Iraq so they can start taking parts of Babylon away and do certain things.
And they definitely don't want us reclaiming our land.
Exactly. So all y'all people, while y'all sit around and spend thousands and thousands of dollars on this shoe and that luxury, the real wealth is in land.
Or T-bills. Get T-bills, niggas.
Right. That was that is the MJ quote that is stuck with me forever. And some of y'all listening, that shit gonna go right over y'all head. But go ahead and keep on spilling your blood over that green paper.
Free the people, free the land, man. That's a common phrase among revolutionaries, man. Free the people, free the land.
And I'm not even gonna ruin these brothers' theme, but it's a certain religious group or sect that's here in America. They tried to offer this man millions for his land. He said, "F you, I don't want your money. I'd rather keep my land."
Facts.
And I ain't even gonna blow up and I'm not even gonna blow up their spot.
Because the land is the wealth.
Yeah.
Facts. My brother, it's always a pleasure, Corey.
This was go. I'd have kept rapping, but wifey got me running to do something real quick. But bro, I'd have kept rapping because this is a good one. This is a good hour and a half joint. We could have did 2 hours on this one.
Yeah. Oh man, please, man. Like we say, man, this stuff, it ain't no separation. You can talk ad nauseum, endlessly about all this bullshit, this game they running on us, man. So
that's all it is. It's a game. And I'm gonna finish with this one last thing. See, we can keep going. It makes me sick of how people treat each other over this game.
Facts, man. Facts. We need each other more than we need money. People don't even realize it.
They don't realize it.
They don't even realize it, bro. Facts, man. Hey, Corey, man, I gotta get out there, man, and holler at you, man. Just to, you know what I mean? Just to see how you living out there and shit. Cause I never been to Texas. I haven't been beyond Vegas. So I guess Vegas is
come Texas, on out here, cause that's where I'm at. My land. I'm gonna show you, but I got a little spot in Vegas. But then I'm gonna tell you this off line, because
Yeah,
I
yeah,
don't
yeah.
want
Yeah, we
nobody to
talking
know
about.
me. I'm tired of you dumb motherfuckers seeing what's right in front of your face and you don't make no moves. I ain't
Yeah,
giving
yeah,
y'all no
we
more.
talking about.
I ain't giving y'all
Yeah, we
no
talking
more straight up heads up. Fuck out of here. But
Fact.
but yeah, I'm gonna hit you, bro, and I'm gonna send you that link.
Yeah, definitely, Corey. I'll be looking forward to it. I'll check it out.
Yeah, and I want you to watch that. And matter of fact, the link I'm about to send you is about the land.
No
That
doubt.
movie, that movie, I want you to see. It's about the land. I can't wait till you sit down and watch it with your people. But
Yes, sir.
just listen
Yes, sir.
podcast. If your nut ass ain't got nothing out of this, you'll be a nut for the rest of your life.
Hey, put it on 1.5. If we ain't speaking fast enough for you, put it on 1.5. Hit the little gear. It looks like a little gear. Then go to settings. Go to speed. Click up a notch. Go to 1.5. It'll flow a little faster for you. But please, please listen.
Right. Word.